Hello, it's Barbara around the WNBA. Listen, the Dallas Wings versus the New York Liberty. Let's get into this. The game was a good game. They both seem to be playing at a fast pace, which made the game very interesting and very fast. Early on, Dallas dominated. Dallas sort of drew the line in the sand and said, nope, you are not winning tonight, New York. And they began to get bucket after bucket. New York were down some players, okay? But when you're down some players, doesn't mean that you should lose a game or doesn't mean that you should have a bad game. Not necessarily. But for some teams, it disrupts their flow. So when a teammate or two are out, they seem to lose it or they seem to not be themselves, almost like they're attached to the hip of that teammate. So if that teammate's not there, then they're not going to play well, or things are not going to function or flow the way that they usually do. Now, that's to be expected. However, do you want to win the game or not? Let's look at the quarters. First quarter, okay, first quarter. It was New York 19 and Dallas 31. Now, right there should tell you a lot. Dallas was, again, drawing a line in the sand. They were like, no, we're having this game. We're doing this. We're not losing. Okay? We're not losing. And they showed that by the points being scored. Okay? Now, let me tell you, in that first quarter, they were not only getting good looks, but they were also shooting the basketball into the hoop with precision. And you can tell by the 19-31 that New York didn't have an answer for them. Really didn't. You know, they were getting some buckets, but as far as defense, they really weren't keeping the Dallas Wings at bay. Second quarter, 72. Second quarter, New York 17, Dallas 32. Y'all hear me? It's 32. So not only the first quarter, second quarter, the first half was all of Dallas. And they were playing great offense. They were playing good defense. They were around Sabrina and not letting her have her free reign. They were around Jonquel, not letting her have her free reign. They were on their defense. They were on their offense, and they were going at fast pace. It seems like that's the way that the Dallas Wings will win games. Now, the key thing is, can they be consistent from this moment on? Because they've been up and down. Enrique, she was going off with the basketball. 3-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, 2-pointers. They couldn't stop her. All right. Third quarter, 26 New York and 22 Dallas. So they're trying to make a comeback. New York is trying to dig in and get their wits about them and trying to hold up better defense, which they did. They did. They're coming back from the half. They're ready to go. Their defense was better. But again, it was still 26 New York and 22 Dallas. So it might be a little bit too, late for them to try to catch up here. And then we have in the fourth quarter, 22-7, 20 being New York and 7 being Dallas. So they rallied. New York rallied as much as they possibly could. And they actually went from like an almost 30-point lead at one point that the Wings had to, a 10-point lead. So that was actually good. But they really still weren't able to capitalize and rake up enough points to turn it the other way. And, and you can see on some of the team, even Sabrina, she was frustrated a little bit. Uh, there was other teammates that were frustrated a little bit. Okay. Cloud was frustrated a little bit. She got a technical. Okay. So there was some stuff going on within the team themselves that has nothing to do with their opponents. And so basically they ended with 92 Dallas Wings, 82 New York Liberty. Let me tell you, this is important here. If a team is about the business of production, about the business of winning, they got to start from the jump. They got to put their line in the sand from the jump. They can't just be lackadaisical and playing slow and being soft. That's not going to win a game at all. All right, maybe some teams might be able to get away with that, but not very many. And this is what I saw with the Dallas Wings. They knew that the New York Liberty are champion team. So they just can't come in there, and just do whatever and be lackadaisical. They had to come in there and really put their stakes down and say, this is our court, this is where we rule. And really be about making that known through the buckets that were gotten. Through the buckets that were made. And, in terms of just the play itself was exceptional. Okay? Backcourt cuts, layups, 3-pointers, 2-pointers. I mean, they were on their job. Paige Beckers, Quinterly, and James are the 3 rookies on the team. And right now for this month, they are the top scoring rookies. The top scoring rookies are on the Dallas Wings for this month. Okay? So Dallas is doing some things right, although sometimes they just don't get the buckets. So they sometimes are hot, very hot, and sometimes cold, or sometimes just lukewarm. And they're in the middle, and they can't achieve the win. All right? That's why they're lower, in their conference. The key thing here, though, is understand that if they can just do the same thing with every team that they face, every team, the way they handle New York, in the game, then they will win more. So it's not only getting the points, it's not only, the 3-point shots, it's not only having some good ball handling, ball play, it's about the mentality and the consistency for the Dallas Wings. Okay? Let's go into some box scores. Okay, for the New York Liberty, okay, we have Harrison, 10 points. Fibich, 9 points. Jones, 18 points. Cloud, 4 points. Sabrina, 17 points. And off the bench, Talbot, 10. Gardner, 5. Joannes, 9. Okay? And as far as 3-pointers, it was for Fibich, 1 out of 5. Jones, 2 out of 6. Sabrina, 1 out of 5. Okay? Talbot, 1 of 1. 1 of 2 for Gardner, and 1 of 5 for Marine. All right. Now, for the Dallas Wings, okay? Louisa had 14 points. Enrique had 20 points. Paige had 20 points. Quinterly had 2 points. Jones had 8 points. The bench, Hines Allen, 4 points. Lee had 8 points. Carrington had 9 points. Berger had 4 points. James had 3 points. Okay? And so there you have it. And so for Arike, she had 14 assists. Okay? 14 assists for Arike. That is exceptional. Okay? Paige Beckers had 4. And as far as New York, Cloud had 8 assists and Sabrina had 5. And Marine had 5. Okay? So we can see that how the points were made. Now let's go to the team stats. Okay? Let's go to the team stats. Field goals 28 of 64 for New York, 36 of 78 for Dallas. And 3-pointers, 7 out of 26 for New York, 7 out of 25 for the Wings. Free throws, 19 out of 24 for New York, 13 out of 14 for the Wings. And rebounds, 33 for New York, 39 for the Wings. Assist, 24 for New York and 27 for the Wings. Okay. Steals, 6 for New York and 8 for the Dallas. Blocks, 5 for New York and 3 for the Dallas Wings. Points conceded off turnovers. Okay. 24 for New York Liberty and 9 for Dallas. Fast break points, 16 for New York and 18 for Dallas. Points in the paint, 38 for New York and 42 for Dallas. Fouls, there was one technical. Again, that was on Cloud. There was one. Largest lead. Now check this out. Largest lead for New York. There wasn't one. Largest lead for Dallas, 30. Okay, 30. Now, as far as at the College Park Center where they played, they had the attendance. This is in Arlington, Texas. They had the attendance of 6,018 people. Okay. This is the first time that they have played together, Liberty versus Wings. And they have 2 more games to go. One is going to be in August, and another one's going to be in August. So they're both going to be in August, on the 5th and on the 8th. Right now, New York is in the Eastern Conference. They're the first right there at 17 wins and 8 losses. They've had a streak of 2 losses in a row. As far as Dallas, they have in the Western Conference, they're 8 and wins and 19 losses. And this is their win. So they only have 1 win in terms of a streak. This is the 1 win so far. You know, I mean, New York is a great team. New York is a wonderful team, really is. And when they play well, they, do well. They're a championship team. But as you can see, even championship teams have off days where they're not hitting the bucket, they're not getting good looks on shots. They're just not in their flow. When the Wings played the Liberty, it was the Wings who were in the flow, not the Liberty. And they end up losing. So there you have it. My name is Barbara, around the WNBA. And if you have enjoyed this content in terms of reviewing the game between the Dallas Wings and the New York Liberty, then I hope that you'll decide to subscribe. Just subscribe. Come on to my channel. Just subscribe and give me a thumbs up because that's helpful. And if you tap the bell, then you'll be made aware of when there's new content available. So, until next time, go Fever. That's my team. Gotta say it. Peace. Blessings.